I like this idea here, like going more for this round triangle shape.
Yeah, I was thinking more insect, wings.
So then I would say if you think about a shape like this, which is then some sort of sharp looking triangle shape, right? I would try to bring that back here, because you angled this here, right? You see this edge. I would not angle this. I would repeat it. What is happening to the negative space in between those shapes here? This shape here, this is our shape, right? The goal should be trying to use this shape as natural and prominent as we can, right? We don't want to overdo it. We also maybe want to have a little bit of contrast, and it maybe doesn't work everywhere, but the big, medium, small ratio, and remember the design exercise, should be very prominent here. So if we have small elements which are maybe the opposite of this, so maybe something a bit more square or less round or more round even. So I could think of that you maybe also go for more round shapes here, and you did already. So I think this could also work here, stuff like this as small elements. And even if we do stuff like this, like here's now the question, if we want to take all the small elements to the small design elements from big, medium, and small, we could think about, okay, do we want to stay and try? And this is why we do iterations, right? Do we want to stay with the shape? You see me just repeating this shape, right? It's just the same shape.
That already looks better.
The question is now, do we want to try that, or we iterate more on it and say, okay, how about we try an opposite shape for contrast, for shape contrast? Maybe square, really round, like trying it something like this. And then thinking about maybe this is some gold elements, or even already thinking about like what is the color, what is the material, is it silver, is it gold, is it bronze? Keeping all this in mind, right? So this is why we iterate this stuff. But in general, I really like the direction. It gives me a little bit of Destiny vibes also. I want to play this game already, which is a good sign because we want to make stuff for entertainment content, right? Keep in mind that we still solve a problem in a smaller scale. If the purpose is to protect that, the rest of it makes sense. So we don't only give him shoulder pads because it looks cool. No, it's serving the purpose of, if it's protection, if it's part of his communication system. If all these pirates maybe have these, basically give instructions over his antenna to all the pirates and basically can control them. That would be a cool idea. All we need to do then is to communicate like a swarm, like these pirates, they work like a swarm, and that could be a great name for a pirate. I have the name for your pirate crew, right?
Oh yeah. You don't want to keep that idea?
I have it on video here. I own that IP. If you get famous. No, the pirate crew. It's called the Swarm.
Yeah, cool.
And then you think like, okay, the captain is somehow like a queen of the swarm. It's the equivalent. So he's the captain, right? So then we can think about, okay, like if we want to go for it, then how can we make the stuff he's using for a purpose? So he needs this antenna, and now we also have a justification for the antenna in our IP. And then this is already justified here, so it's about controlling, right? And write this stuff down, even if you put in the stuff into your portfolio. Like you can write little notes like control radio and draw in a radio sign or something like waves or whatever, just also for yourself as a reminder.
This is something I need to do more of, is go over my designs with the red and just make those simple corrections.
Yeah, I mean, right now you have me for that, or on a job you have an art director for this, but if you learn to correct yourself, you have a big advantage because it is really hard to step outside of your own zone and say like, okay, well, I could do this better, I could do this better. I know that a lot of people cannot do this, but if you can, do it. Oh, this is cool. But again, buddy, push this stuff. Push it. Like we are now have the opportunity to create like something incredible. You have to think about that. Like every time you do something, think about it. You have the chance now to create something really incredible. You can also try to go for a really symmetric design at some point just to see, because like symmetry is not our enemy, right? It is technically working. Just because asymmetry looks good all the time doesn't mean we cannot go for But if he's more of a stable character, why not?
Yeah, I've been finding the shape design stuff really, really fascinating. Just like coming up with new shapes, or even this, like going over the shapes and really solidifying them. Yeah, it's just cool. Now I look at people's designs, and that's the first thing I'm looking for is what kind of shapes did they use.
And you also realize that actually a lot of stuff we have on ArtStation and all the other platforms on Instagram that people can render. They can draw really well or paint really well, but the designs are actually not that good, or there's actually not big of a design. It's just like well rendered, and that's the trap we can all fall into very quick, is like being fascinated by something that we drew and then we paint it and looks even better because maybe material works well or lighting looks really nice. This can happen to everyone, but when you understand what is a good design, or what is at least a successful design, design can be very subjective. I would say if a design explains itself well and communicates what it needs to do and of course solves a problem, then it's a good design. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. If you also want to get mentored by me, make sure to check out my website, janusz-art.zone, and apply for the mentorship. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Take care. Ciao, ciao.